start whenever you're feeling good. But I was thinking, like, at some point in the middle, I'm gonna, like, try and shave my beard, and then I'll leave the mustache, and I think if we kiss, we'll make the perfect beard. Because you got nothing up here, and I got this little fucking soul patch. And I think if we meet faces halfway, we'll make the perfect human being.
The perfect human
I don't know about perfect human being, but maybe.
I'm too quiet, he's too loud. My dick's too small, his dick's humongous. We'll be like the perfect average white dude.
Averages.
Yeah.
Or it'll be like his mustache, and I don't know.
No, it'll
pretty good. Like it'll take the worst out of him.
It'll take like his split tooth in the middle here, and then the combination of my non-lateral incisors, and we'll just have like horrible hillbilly teeth.
It'll be like a Brit.
Yeah. Great, we'll be one of those Cockney Brits.
Yeah, it'll like or it'll take my quiet voice and your stupid loud voice, and it'll make it like multiplying 0 by -1, so like we're just like infinitesimally quiet. All right.
I don't know how good your math works there, but we'll go for that.
Welcome to the Tomfoolery Podcast. My name is Brendan. This is Adrian.
Hey, what's up?
And this is, what's your name, Cam?
Cam? You can say that sometimes. It's Mac, by the way. McElroy?
Macaroni.
There's lots of iterations. You can do whatever you want.
Big Mac Attack.
Yeah, it's a pretty easy name to make a nickname out of.
Oh, actually, it was really funny because he worked at BK, so your brother started calling him the Whopper. Because Big Mac is the McDonald's main thing, and the Whopper is that for the BK, so...
All right, loser, I'm cutting you off real quick. But welcome, this is episode 3 of the Tomfoolery Podcast, The Foolening.
The Foolening.
We got Chuck Norris is on reserve. He's going to come in as, like, the sidekick cameo character to come fight the villain, whoever we establish that as.
Whatever you hear a voice in the background is probably Chuck Norris.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah, probably, yeah. It's like 12 Angry Men, but, like, just 3 of us, so we're lacking in every regard. When we find out who the villain is, that's when that person will come in and
get the
fuck him up.
M. Night Shyamalan twist at the end where you never know who it's going to be.
Oh, fuck that guy. Oh, okay. Sorry, again, starting off strong. Shyamalan. Devil. You ever watch that movie?
Is that the one in the elevator?
Yeah.
I haven't seen it. I remember the movie, though. I remember of it.
He didn't direct that, if I recall. I think he had a part in writing it.
Mm-hmm.
But it's called Devil.
Yeah.
What's the twist?
They're all the devil.
The devil's involved, thereby removing all tension from what's happening in the movie. The movie's central idea is that people are locked in an elevator, and one of them could be a killer, but you went in to see a movie called Devil. You know it's a devil. You know none of them are doing it. And so until they start throwing supernatural bullshit, which you know is coming...
It's gonna happen.
It's a twist. It's fucking Shyamalan's got his fucking name on it. It's gonna be a twist, and it's like, yeah, you know it's the devil. You went to see Devil. You saw the trailers, was a devil.
Yeah.
It's the dumbest thing.
Yeah, that's the thing with, like, M. Night, where it's like, you go into it expecting a twist.
Yeah.
Where, like, we saw Split.
Yes.
That came out this year.
Mm-hmm.
Where it's like, he goes in and you're kind of just looking for where it's gonna be, and you kind of assume where it's going. So... it takes away from it, where if it was just unnamed, you might not be looking for it as hard. Where you're like, oh, it's obviously going to be this. And then it it ends up being what you expected. They
kind of give you red herrings or something?
No, it's not too bad. It's kind of... it's a guy with, like, split personalities. And, like, they all, like, disassociated from themselves kind of thing. So, like, they know they're all present, but, like, it's one guy with 30 voices or something like that.
No, he has, what was it? 26 different personalities, some large number like that. But, like, my big issue with it, like, sorry to cut you off, I was kind of helping you and whatever, but my big flaw with that movie, I think, is because they made it seem like it was going to be more of a horror suspense type thing, where it was just more dragged out story, and then it became, like, action-packed around the end, and that was about it.
I don't think it really played it out as an action-packed movie. It was just more like a psychological thriller, where it's like, what is this guy doing? And then he does, like, what's his name? McAvoy?
Yeah, James McAvoy.
James McAvoy. He does a good job where it's...
oh, yeah,
he's doing phenomenal. He does, like, 10 characters, and they all have very distinct, like... personalities and, like, mannerisms and stuff like that, just so that you can tell...
who's who.
Like, there's one point where he switches between a bunch in a row, and you can kind of guess which one is by, like, the way he acts and the way he talks and stuff like that. So he does a good job of it, and I like the movie.
Well, especially with that one, it's a lot of face acting, right? Face and voice acting. So you really see it in his face when he changes, because like, some of the characters he portrays, like one's a child that's 8 years old, and you see it in his face. He gets that like kid like wonder where he just looks at you like everything's fucking innocent in the world, right?
I'd love to sit in on the the auditions of that. Be like, all right, James McAvoy, you're fantastic in everything you do. I want you to act like an 8-year-old. And he's like, he starts pulling his arms into his shirt sleeves and making goo goo gaga noises. I mean, this is like...
8 years old, man!
Shut up. He's a method actor. He's got to grow up first. You know?
I'm going to start at 3 and then go up to 8. I can't start at 8. I have to start from the bottom. Now we go all the way up to 8.
He's a religious watcher of The Curious Case of Benjamin Button.
Yeah, he's going
notes.
back.
He takes distinct notes every single rewatch of it.
Yeah, he kind of did that thing like he's like sitting on his feet and the way he walks, he's like
does he?
waddling. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, he legit does what I was describing.
He doesn't pull in his arms, but like he like
Okay,
crouches and does like the thing where like he's pretty much his ass is touching the ground when he's walking.
Oh, he's doing like Slav squat, but like next level.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's pretty it's pretty good.
Pretty close to that, yeah. And like they do fit in a nice twist ending at the end, and like we're not going to spoil it here. Go see the movie
Just do
or
it.
see whatever.
Just
I'm not,
do it.
not
Do it,
doing
you pussy.
Not
Spoil
doing
it.
We're not spoiling it. Let's just say it has a secret tie to another one of his movies. It's all I'm saying.
Oh, yeah, okay, I know this.
Well, there you go. So
Yeah.
shut the up.
That's not really the spoiler. It like looking into it after, like it's connected to Unbreakable.
Yeah.
And then looking back, they
Alright, hold on. Whoever's editing this, rewind that and throw up a big spoiler warning, and if...
That's not like a huge spoiler in the movie.
No.
It's kind of like a nod to it at the very end.
Yeah.
We have to warn people, though.
Warning.
You'll be crucified over this, I guarantee it.
Our
Now
dozen
we-
of watchers might hurt us.
Yes.
They
And to be
might-
fair, it's kind of been a thing, and like, I haven't edited the best, so half the time we still have like the very first episode has us like saying like spoiler warning after we spoiled the thing.
You're supposed to. It's only proper etiquette now.
Yeah, but it was after we spoiled it.
Dare I offend someone?
Yeah, exactly.
That's what the internet's for.
PC crowd and whatnot.
Yeah.
Yeah, but anyway, like people were talking about it after, and then I watched Unbreakable after I watched that movie again, and then some of the scenes in Unbreakable are the guy in this movie.
Oh, no way!
Yeah, and it's pretty neat. The connections that you make, where like you see Unbreakable, right?
No. But did they retroactively like hire McAvoy
No, it's not like
before he was even an actor?
It's that character.
He's just some teen in Scotland, but like, yo, there's a guy in America called M. Knight. Yeah, his name's Knight. He's serious business.
Yeah.
And he's gonna hire you for this movie. Don't know why right now. May come up later. May come up next week.
May come up in 20 years after the movie's made.
After you've made tons of established good works. You don't even know you're gonna be an actor, but you will be, trust me. You know?
Accept it. It's happening.
And they filmed all of this years in advance.
Yeah.
And he just kind of went with it, and that's how we got James McAvoy now.
Yeah, like there's one scene in Unbreakable where Bruce Willis sees like where he's kind of connected to the people and sees like their turmoil or whatever, and then he touches a woman and sees her like beating her child or something, and like that's the character in
Oh, really?
in what's it called, Split.
Oh.
So like and there was another one, I forget what it was. There was another scene in Unbreakable where they kind of point to that person. So it was neat. Like I hadn't seen Unbreakable in a long time, so I rewatched it after I saw Split, and it was pretty neat to see that.
Well, I hear that Shyamalan's like best work technically. Like everybody remembers what is it?
Sixth Sense.
Sixth Sense. I was gonna say Sixth Signs for some fucking reason.
He also made Signs.
Yeah, Science is another movie.
yeah.
That's why.
But I got the two confused. Is
Yeah.
what I'm saying.
Yeah.
But yeah, like everybody remembers Sixth Sense because it was like the first big twist. You know,
that was his first big movie.
Yeah, but as far as I hear, everybody seems to think Unbreakable's the better picture. Like, you know, structurally and character-wise, there's a lot more to it.
They've got Samuel L. Jackson,
Yeah.
so you know that's good.
You could just tell that man he's gonna say motherfucker, and he's like, I'm on it, you know?
I don't even know if he
Sign me
does.
up.
He might not.
Yeah, actually, I think he does.
Yeah.
He says,
I haven't seen Unbreakable yet. Let's see. Well, after watching Split, I've wanted to, but I still.
You haven't
always
seen it yet?
skim
You
over
tell me I'm wrong about it. Him saying that?
No, I saw a little thing of Samuel L. Jackson's best motherfucker lines on YouTube, and
Which
I'm
is
pretty
clearly
certain
every
him in
single
the
one.
wheelchair is in there.
I don't think he ever gets mad in the wheelchair enough to say that. I don't know. I could be wrong.
Like I'm saying, but I'm pretty certain in all the movies Samuel L. Jackson's done, I'm pretty certain Unbreakable is not the only one he ends up in a wheelchair.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like.
Well, he would have been in Deep Blue, but I mean, we also
that's the best speech of all time in cinema. That speech before he gets eaten in Deep Blue Sea, where he's just like, "We need to survive," and he's talking about how he went to the Everest and ate another guy because he died early, and he's like, "We need to find a way to survive," and then the shark just jumps out of the water.
It's not even a good-looking shark. It's just like bad sci-fi channel-esque CG.
But then LL Cool J's the cook, so you know it's good.
Yeah.
Cool J goes and
I
shoots
like
a
how he
dynamite arrow at him,
survives.
or a dynamite harpoon at the shark.
Yeah. Oh, fuck! I gotta watch that again. I remember a scene where like a room is filling up, and I think LL Cool J is like on top of a fridge, and he's like fighting the shark, like it's like conscious of him being on top of the fridge.
Mm-hmm.
Like you're giving these fucking animals too much credit. They have a really good sense of smell. They're not gonna wait you out on top of a fridge when
But
they can't see you.
They did inject their brains with something in the movie, so
Smart juice.
some smart juice, so
Some
that they can
smart
cure
juices.
Alzheimer's.
Oh.
I remember too much plot points about that. I remember a decent amount about Deep Blue Sea, and it's kind of disappointing, but I don't regret it.
I don't regret how much I know.
I
about
remember
it.
LL Cool J. He's like thinks he's about to die, so he like records himself telling how to make the perfect omelet.
Yeah. Okay. I remember that.
Yeah.
I remember that.
He's like, you want to use 3 eggs. Some people add milk, but that's a mistake. I remember that part. He says don't add milk, so I'm like, now I've taken that and not added milk because LL Cool J told me not to. When I make eggs, I don't add milk anymore.
What a dumb fucking movie. God damn. I'd be bawling my eyes out, man. This man's concerned about fucking scrambled eggs, man.
That's his legacy, man.
Yeah.
Legacy's all in the eggs.
Yeah. His legacy is made the perfect omelet. And that's all he
Like,
had.
that's even hard to do. You stick it in a frying pan and fold it. I'm getting that completely wrong. I know I am. I don't even cook eggs much, but
I was gonna be like, of the 3 of us, I think you cook the best, and you're saying that?
I know how to make scrambled eggs and sunny side up. And one of them you just mash out, the other one you just look at it while it cooks. And that's it.
Yeah.
That's all I know.
Or you try to make sunny side up and you're like, oh, the yolk broke. Well, make it scrambled. That's how it goes.
Or even if you're trying anything, like, I guess we're going scrambled.
Yeah. Scrambled is always the last resort. It's like, I'll try for other things, and if that fails, I'll just go for scrambled.
Scrambled is the undo button of egg.
Essentially. Yeah, it's funny. I was talking about that with a friend a while ago. Specifically, again, this is about eggs, strangely enough.
Well, yeah, that's
we
why
were talking about cheese eggs, and cheese eggs is kind of like this. If there were any proof of some kind of subconscious connection between human beings, regardless of them knowing each other, it would be cheese eggs, okay? And people who smoke pot unanimously all discovered cheese eggs on their own merit. They'll get high and they'll make scrambled eggs and they'll add like half eggs, half cheese. And it's like this marvel of man amongst like potheads. And they all come across this recipe independent of each other. It's like self-discovery, like coming of adulthood in that aspect of life.
I was definitely expecting like that wax ball of cheese, like, you know, that red
Baby
thing?
Bell.
Baby Bell.
Yeah.
I was expecting that in an egg shape. I'm like, I've never seen that.
Cheese eggs is like, you hit this clique, and once you discover it, you're like, you talk about cheese eggs with people, and they're like, I know what you're, yeah, I dig you, man. I
I
had
see
cheese
what
eggs
it
the
is.
other night. Yeah.
I love that shit.
Yeah.
Cheese eggs are just life, man.
Once you make that connection with someone, it's like, you understand who is about that. You smell it, you recognize the smell of cheese eggs. It's got a very distinct smell. It's like dairy on dairy. And when
Eggs isn't dairy.
shut up. It comes from the same farm.
It's from the same farm. The cow farm.
It's
and
in the
chicken
dairy aisle. It's the same.
farm. It's right next to the cream cheese.
I really like the pause in the middle of that too, is because it's like, yeah, it's all dairy. No, it's not. Oh, dumbass.
Complete change here. I was gonna ask you this a while ago, but I figured I'd save it for here. And it's a would you rather question, but a very urgent would you rather question.
I'm very afraid of the question.
All right. So the circumstances are
Negative B.
somebody's got a gun to your head. You have to pick, right?
Okay.
And you have a choice of either.
I'm not good at these.
You have a choice of either your pubic hair is a large bushel made of Medusa-like snake hair, and your dick is still in there. It's just surrounded by Medusa snake hair, or
Okay.
your fingers are replaced with tinier, smaller versions of you, exact copies, and they're all huge potheads. So you have to make them agree to do anything if you want to use your hands.
So they have control over your fingers.
Your fingers are just tiny, specifically Adrian here. His fingers are
Holy.
just tiny versions of him, and they're all big potheads.
I have a question about the Medusa thing. If someone looks into it, do they turn to stone?
There's no eyes.
Okay,
It's
the
just
hair.
really mean, bitey snake hair, and it's really
But
big.
like, can't I cut it off like the snakes?
No,
Like,
it hurts you, really badly.
oh, so they're like attached. Like, oh shit, that's kind of annoying.
And you can't tie him up either because they'll
Gun
give
on
you
my
little
head?
bites. Yeah,
Can
you
you
have to
die?
pick. You have to pick.
No, I just
I
there's the
choose
option of dying.
You have to pick though.
No, because there's a gun on my head and I don't choose, I die. So I don't choose, I die. I'm good.
That's
I don't
not
want either.
It's not. No, he's got your wife and kids.
You're non-existent.
He's got your
because
grandchildren.
I was never attached to them.
He's got your grandchildren and he's holding a gun to their head. He's taking away their candy.
They're
It
yelling
breaks
at you.
your heart to see this.
Papa? Not today, Papa.
Tata! I love you, Tata! Please choose, Papa!
I guess I would go with the. Wait, like, will the snakes bite me though, or is it?
No, they love you.
Oh, they love me, but like anything else getting near they. Yeah, I can handle snakes, man. That'd be pretty sweet.
You get no sex ever again.
Yeah, I can live with that. I can still get myself off.
There's no such thing as a Medusa hair condom. You can't like
No.
hairnet that shit.
Well, no, but like worst case scenario, like you just like sleep and pill those bastards. Like,
No, you can't. You can't
You're
masturbate
attached
either.
to it. You can't.
No.
I was gonna ask if there was like a snake job or something like that.
Precisely.
Oh.
You have to pleasure them all at the same time.
You have to pleasure them. They don't pleasure
have to-
you.
Oh, so this brings the shower head back into the mix.
No, they don't like that. They have to breathe.
They turn up. They face up. And
But
then,
I'll make it work. I'll figure it out. I'd make it work. Yeah, I guess in that case, yeah, I'd go with the snake thing. I'll put it with myself. Fuck that shit.
So you really have zero faith in yourself to.
he can barely get one of him to come to a conclusion. He doesn't need 11.
He's not completely incorrect.
Oh man, I would go for the hands, man. We'd be all bros. We'd be.
See, yeah, but like playing video games would be awkward as hell. Cause like then you'd be like, hey,
Are they like the same dimensions?
No, they'd all have.
Or do they have just like your face? Or are they like a whole human being?
It's
as
like the
replacing-
feet are stuck to your knuckles.
But like, is it the same general shape? Like, could you wear gloves?
Just take you and make it smaller and attach that to your knuckles.
So basically like your feet would be like right where your thumb connects type thing, and then like this would be your body. Your arms would spread out here, and your head's right at the top.
For
so to
people
speak.
who can't see what he's doing, he's pointing at his thumb and making noises.
Yeah, I'm pointing at my thumb and demonstrating to Mac what Brennan is trying to explain.
That'd be unfortunate.
Think of like Smurfs, like little tiny ass Smurfs. They're like right there instead.
Why does it have to be a Smurf? Are you calling me a Smurf?
God damn! I'm just saying, 'cause Smurfs are tiny, you jackass.
It's because Mac is wearing blue. And he's oddly joyful. It's unnerving. to me.
Unnerving.
Actually, man, I watched.
Make your choice.
I did.
No.
Snakes.
Explain.
Oh damn it.
Elaborate on the snakes.
I told you. Because I can make do. I could end up figuring out a way to please them all at once. So yeah, it might take a bit of like practice,
do
but,
you-
like
do
I
you
got
get-
the rest of my life.
Do you
to
get
this.
pleasure out of that, or is it just the snakes get pleasure?
It's.
Well, no. If I can feel them, if I'm cutting them off, I'm getting the damn pleasure too. That's not bullshit.
Yeah, but you have to make them all happy.
That's fine.
All of them.
I'll make it work.
How
There's
many are
hundreds
there?
of them.
Hundreds of them.
What the hell? Like how big
It's-
are these things?
It's pubic hair, but they're all really tiny snakes.
Oh yeah, that's fine.
But the
Figure it out.
the collective itself is about
See,
the
but
size of a small shrubbery.
hypothetically though, like you can get like laser surgery and shit or laser hair removal to get rid of your pubic hair.
but-
Can I do that with the snakes too?
But not
Can that
laser snake
technically count?
removal.
You'd have
That's completely-
phantom pain for years. And you would have
That's fine. I smoke weed. The pain go away. We're good.
and you would have emotional problems. You'd miss them.
Whatever. I miss a lot of people.
You got
Shit
connected to
happens.
the snakes.
They'd be
Is it like a Hydra where if you cut off one and two come out, or
Yeah.
Oh,
and
God
they're
damn it.
each of them is more loving than the last.
do they talk or do they just?
Yeah, in really cute Disney voices.
Oh, nice.
Oh, screw that, man. I'd be a YouTube star with that shit.
You'd be showing people your dick, you fucking weirdo.
Well, no, it's gonna be hidden behind a bunch of snakes. No one will know. Just
No.
draw googly eyes on that bitch.
No, they'd get out of the way. They're also really mischievous. They like to embarrass you.
Okay, this is just getting more elaborate every time I find a plot hole in this. This is not fair.
Come on, YouTube.
It's not an easy choice, man.
Whatever, I'm sticking to it. You can't just come up with new reasons as to why I can't like my decision.
Oh,
I accept my decision.
okay. You.
Me?
Same circumstance.
And
But they're not
are
going to
they
be stoners.
are they miniature versions of myself? Like, are they similar to me?
But they are potheads.
That's disappointing. That would be
You gotta
difficult.
guilt trip your fingers every day.
No,
How
not
could-
again.
No, like, what, are they like just permanently stoned, or do they smoke up too?
They have to smoke up. They've got pocket dimensions. They pull weird, mysterious objects out when they need it. And they're like you, but like the size of your finger, just attached to your knuckle, and they just happen to be really big potheads.
Yeah.
Or chronic laziness, if you.
Chronic laziness.
Yeah, exactly. Very bad chronic laziness.
Grab that. Nah, no,
Yeah.
I'm good.
You know what? Before you answer, for all the listeners out there, hit up our podcast, our Twitter, at Tomfoolery Pod, and let us know your choice. Same question out to you. Little miniature selves for fingers, or snake pubic hair. Let us know.
I think I might have to go with the snakes.
It seems more like it just seems more logical.
I don't. I want my hands to be able to work with me. Like, I don't want to be like.
See, but he's a civil engineer
and then
too.
and then the thumb's like, no, I've had enough of that, and then you can't do anything. What
And
if
like
my
if you
thumb's
smoke too much, you pass out, and like he can't have that shit when he's working.
He doesn't get affected by it. It's just his fingers.
Yeah, but if his fingers fall the fuck asleep, they're not gonna do shit.
Then I'm just pounding the things with my hand. Grab this pen, the thumb's like, no, I'm good, and then I write like I have Parkinson's.
Exactly. You can still function.
Michael
Yeah.
J. Fox.
Yeah, I was gonna
If
say.
you've got the Medusa shrubbery dick, you can't like do anything with that. I mean, you can pleasure it, but that's quite the erroneous task right there.
Yeah.
You gotta make,
but
you gotta
get
make a
into
night of
rhythm.
it. You gotta
See,
do
but
like.
you get a rhythm eventually, and you'd be able to like speed up. Like the very first time you jack off, you ain't a pro at it. It
How
takes
do,
a
you,
while.
how do you tell people about that? Be like, do you own any pets? I'd be like, I own hundreds of tiny snakes around my groin, and we have fun every other night.
Well, like
Thursday's our night.
Yeah, Thursday.
Well, you don't really need to tell people unless it's a problem. Like, are they like constantly trying to get out of
Yeah,
your pants?
yeah,
too?
and it's
oh
just a-
no! See now, it's
All
always
of a sudden
progressing.
Your pants are like moving around while
Yeah.
you're standing.
If you have your jeans on, it's like this writhing bubble of bullshit inside your groin there, and they're trying to get out. They're making noises too, like constantly. If you aren't like paying attention to them, they're a high maintenance pet.
How about your fingers? Are they high maintenance?
No, they're like you. You have to shower them every once in a while.
Yeah. Just get some good.
So basically, wash your hands.
No, they have to have their own little tiny shower.
What the heck?
Have your own time.
This is getting so
It's
elaborate.
like a
Holy
Barbie
crap.
house. You just have to stick a finger in and just turn on the shower.
One at a time, because they'll have embarrassment issues as
Yeah.
well.
Can I just stick my hands and drown them all in a sink? Just be like,
No, because the surviving one would eat the other ones.
no, I stick both hands in.
One would make it.
One would survive and it would eat my other
Probably.
fingers. Probably.
Do you have faith in yourself too?
To not eat my other fingers?
Yeah. You look at those get hungry. Like, I've always wondered how self-cannibalistic I can be. How do I taste, I wonder?
Yeah. Yeah. I've always thought. That took a turn.
That just went so dark. Went right into cannibalism. Holy hell! Usually we don't hit the dark stuff till the end, man.
Oh,
That's
I
what
didn't
we-
even tell you. They also have like chronic masturbation issues too.
This is just getting more elaborate and more difficult to keep up with.
Make a choice!
So are your feet
I can't.
are the fingers feet like stuck to your hand?
Yeah, they're just kind of on there.
They like stand on it or they're stuck to it? It's like
Yeah.
they're
Their
ankle
feet,
deep into the hand and can't move your
they're
feet.
wearing shoes that are part of your knuckle, but their feet are also part of your knuckle too.
Oh, okay.
So they don't move, is what
Yeah,
he's saying.
but they
don't
can
walk.
like do like a little Groot and go
Yeah,
flail their
yeah.
hands around.
Yeah. You can make a thing of it.
Yeah. Then you could be a YouTube star.
Yeah, then you could do
the
that.
hand one. Oh man, you could do like a whole Jackson 5 thing. It'd be like the Jackson 10 though. You just get them all really high and sing like Snoop Dogg stuff.
No, because
Set.
they'd be coughing constantly.
No, not true.
Do they have my singing voice?
I don't know, how bad are you at singing?
Not great.
Then yes.
No, I don't think
No,
singing
see,
is the
but
way
the
to
thing is,
go.
though, no. If you really want, you just got to pay for a singing lesson course. Except for you only got to pay for yourself, and then you just use your hands to teach. So all 10 of them get one lesson. 10 for the price of one. So
I don't think...
no, you don't understand. So once you get the lessons in, you're better at singing, your hands are better at singing. Then you go to YouTube and do that stuff and you make your money back.
What if you met another woman who had 10 small versions of herself on her hands, and she was ridiculous?
If you held hands, would they have sex?
I don't know yet. I'm getting to that.
He has to think through it first.
See, you're just purposely making this more elaborate to make it a harder choice that doesn't work.
It's fun that way.
Yeah.
No, but you met her, and she's got 10 small... She's got, like, small versions of herself that are even hotter than she is. But you chose the dick bush, the snake dick bush.
That's fine.
And you could do nothing with her.
Oh, well.
Oh, well. Say what?
Yeah. You know what? If the snake pubes are going to end up loving me and I end up falling in love with somebody, like, hey, man, my dick pubes are going to have to learn to love them or they're going to get smacked.
They bite, though.
Well, smack.
They're really defensive.
It's fine.
They're territorial.
Yeah.
Wait, Brady going to have to choke a bitch?
Sometimes they even have spats with each other.
Yeah.
They're like cats. They hate each other sometimes for no reason.
They're like dogs and you're the owner, and then they think everyone is an intruder towards you, and they're just gonna nip at whoever's coming at you.
And they also bark like Pomeranians.
Okay, then I'm definitely going with the stoner hands. Fuck that shit. My sister's
Bark
got
like
a Pomeranian. That thing's annoying.
Yeah, once that comes out, you're like, no, that's the line I don't
The
cross.
doorbell ring your crotch just starts yipping.
No!
No
Big.
sex for life, but as soon as those fuckers sound like Pomeranians, I'm out.
Unacceptable.
Well, I can make do with this no sex for life. Like, it would suck, don't get me wrong, but, like, if I can get myself up. See, I'm a very giving guy, too. Like, I'm all about pleasing.
Doesn't mean your snakes are giving.
It doesn't matter. If I'm just... For the non-above PG age, which this podcast is more...
It's under explicit.
No, this is Disney
Is,
marketing.
oh, is it actually under explicit?
Yeah.
Perfect, good.
No, I'm marketing this to Disney.
Disney. Yeah, good.
You're going...
I'm more of a oral man, let's just say. So, the snakes won't be an issue. They can just bite the fucking bed for all I give a shit.
You ever have an ingrown hair on your face?
No.
Okay, never mind.
Yeah,
What?
yeah.
You have?
Yeah.
They also come out of snakes now.
On your face?
Yes. But only the ingrown ones.
Only the ingrown ones.
And they pull out, but every once in a while you'll find it come out and start waving high at you.
Waving on. Snakes got arms and shit now, too.
So you chose... What did you choose?
I chose the fingers.
You chose the fingers, and you...
I switched to the fingers as soon as the Pomeranian barking came in.
Too late, the man shot you. You didn't make your choice.
Okay,
I win.
Yeah, like, the victory is still mine. I'm not upset by this. Like, hey, I don't have
Does
to live
the
with
man
either.
facilitate the people fingers or the
No, it just
snake
happens.
crotch? Or
It
it just happens?
it
Is
just
he like a
happens.
genie and he just snaps his fingers and
I don't
that
know.
happens?
He's not holding a gun to my head. I don't gotta make this choice. You tell me what happens. I tell you. You tell him your choice.
Or does he just tell me what I prefer and then he's like, oh, it's gross and shoots me anyway?
Your answer is inadequate. You're done.
He's like, oh, gross. I love Pomeranians, you fucking dude.
One of those.
No, oh, man.
You don't want any part of those.
That dog is bloody annoying. Like, my brother's really funny with the damn thing because it's so small, right? And my brother, being the big Asian dude that he is, likes to really mess with this thing and fight with it and get really going. And then he'll leave it alone. So it's pissy with everybody else. And my brother just laughs about it the whole time. It's at family get-togethers. And Aaron will just sit there and he's just fucking with this damn thing for hours. And my sister starts yelling at him like she thinks it's going to make a difference. She's like 2 foot nothing.
Your brother's not going to listen to her anyway.
Well, no.
Well, I mean, small dogs themselves, man. Like, it
They're
doesn't
hit and
matter.
miss.
It doesn't matter whether you like threaten them or not. They're gonna bark at you.
Yeah, I
That's what
remember
they do.
freaking
They're
Junior.
concentrated rage. So, question for you: who do you think would win? We were talking about this earlier, and
But we were talking about this yesterday with our friend Neil.
yeah,
He brought it up to our attention.
yeah. If you were to pick, who do you think would win? Helen Keller.
Yeah.
Helen Keller with a gun, or a Roomba equipped with a chainsaw.
Bear in mind, Helen Keller has a 9mm with a 15 bullet clip, and the Roomba is using an electric lawnmower. The reason it's electric is so that the gas power doesn't. The gas
Is it plugged in?
It is not. It is a
battery power?
Yeah, battery power.
How long does the battery last?
The battery will say last 8 hours.
I think Helen Keller will win.
See, but bear in mind, the chainsaw is on top of the Roomba, so it is like a shield protecting it.
But a chainsaw is not meant to get shot. I think if you shot a chainsaw, it would stop running.
That's my idea too.
Like, it was either if you shoot the Roomba will stop, or if you shoot the chainsaw. But also, if it's like you shoot the Roomba, and it's just the chainsaw. And also, Helen Keller, she's swifty. I bet she could dodge it.
See, people say she's deaf, dumb, and blind, but I think the dumb is more a myth than anything.
Yeah, that's just like the people thought all deaf people were dumb.
Yeah.
I think if you're deaf and blind and can be able to communicate, you're not that stupid. Like, I don't understand.
Actually, that is a fair.
I think as her years went up and she learned more than what water was, you know, how to actually aim a gun and shoot it, I think she became a wily old bugger. I think she learned the consistency of steel versus 9mm bullets.
Steel versus 9mm.
When was she even alive anyway?
Like probably last year.
Yeah. She died in February.
I think my dad knows her or something.
They go way back.
Yeah, I went to school together.
Rest her soul, the old broad. That chainsaw got her one day.
Yeah, they're all just one day they all came in with chainsaws and she had no idea what to do. She's just shooting wildly.
That poor Roomba never docked until it finished its cleanup job.
Yeah, cleaned up itself.
Oh yeah, that's cool too. Because if it does get the upper hand on Helen Keller, it also could clean up its own mess and make it look like it didn't kill her.
Exactly.
But that doesn't change anything. That's just a sweet after effect of him winning.
No, because it could cover its tracks too, so it wouldn't get arrested for the murder of Helen Keller.
But you're not going to
Defame
arrest
it.
You're not going to arrest the damn Roomba anyway.
It's guilty of murder though.
The
You gotta
Roomba-
cover all your bases, man.
No, the Roomba it'll just be, go to like a crusher and just be like, this Roomba is faulty. Boom, and crush it into nothingness, and then it becomes a paperweight.
They'll interrogate it in that like Ghost in the Shell. News
Just
chamber.
hanging from the chainsaw.
Yeah. Why did you kill Helen Keller?
Little vibrate noises.
Just so angry because the floor is so dirty, but it's in the air.
Oh.
Maybe you'll talk if we show you this plug.
You
Getting a little low on energy, aren't you there, Roomba?
You
want
ever
this
talk
outlet?
right here?
Yeah.
Little tiny.
Just shaking.
I bet you miss your daughter, don't you?
She's never coming back.
Bloody hell.
Yeah, okay.
Turns into an episode of Taken, not my Roomba.
Oh, there's a show of that?
Yeah.
Yeah, like, it's so weird. The timeline's apparently like 20 years before the movie, or like 10 years before the movie.
Oh, so that's your excuse to not cast it.
And the guy is like 40 years old, or like 50 years old now, and it's supposed to be like 15 years before. Like, the daughter's not even born yet in the show, and the guy's old. Like, it's not like he's 20 years old. Like, this guy has gray facial hair.
Does he look like Liam Neeson?
No.
Oh, then I won't watch it.
I don't know, it's
It's
weird.
the fun of that.
Yeah. The timeline's all off. Like, I think it's before he even met his wife, and this guy's
Also,
like...
there's no Liam Neeson, and there's no Famke Janssen. What's the point?
I don't know. I don't know who watches that show.
Well, like, to be fair, they've made a lot of ridiculous shows.
They're making a
for
lot of,
stuff.
like, do-overs where they made a Training Day show.
Yeah.
They made a Lethal Weapon.
Yeah, there's a bunch like that.
Not MacGruber, what's...
MacGyver.
MacGyver, that's the
came
real
back.
They're
version.
redoing MacGyver?
Yeah, they have a TV show.
Yeah, they redid it. It's
I don't-
out right now.
What is...
Oh, you know who else?
It's
they
nothing sacred.
MacGyver is what you draw the line on?
Yeah.
Wait. We gotta tell them the new one that hit Netflix. Bill Nye has a new show.
Oh, yeah, I heard of that.
It's actually really good.
I don't
Like-
know. Bill Nye, I mean, he shattered my illusions of
Was that?
blissful youth. I used to think he was the coolest guy, but as I got older, he became more of like an opinionated dickhead.
He does get... I watched, like, a handful of episodes. He does get pretty condescending.
He's
when he's
super passive aggressive, man.
Yeah.
Holy shit.
Like there was one where I forget which one. I watched a couple, and then he always has like a panel of like 3 people, and one's usually on the opposite side, and then one he was just like a dick to him. And
He is,
like he gets like when he's talking about people that disagree with him, he's very condescending.
Mhm.
And it's like, I think the world would be better off if they watched the whole series, because it's stuff that you should know, and where he's talking about global warming and people are saying global warming isn't a thing.
yeah.
It's like, yeah, it's important and we should actually try to stop it and get into electricity and stop using coal and oil for everything.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, there was a guy on it. that was saying, like, on the first episode they did global warming. I watched it. Max has watched more episodes, so I don't know much if he came back or what.
No, like there's.
But the one guy there says, like, if we actually put in the efforts, by like 2030 we could basically be running on nothing but renewable energy.
Yeah, here's so much conflicting stuff about that.
That's I
Like,
don't know
yeah,
how much of that.
yeah, that might be a bit of a stretch. Like, it would probably take more time than that. But, like, as a general window, like, the fact that we have the resources that we could start turning it towards that, like, why aren't we heading in that direction is the big question.
Well, there are so many facets to that, though. You know, it all depends on whether or not, like, an economy could, you know, essentially find a foothold in such a drastic change in energy management. On top of that, we're also dealing with pre-established companies that still want to be a thing that would be
like
put out of business.
Texaco isn't going to just roll over and be like, well, oil's not going to be sold anymore.
We'll try, but, you know, we can't guarantee it. And meanwhile, on the other end of the table, they're funding, you know, continued resource management and stuff like that. Again, it's just one of the many facets that involve that.
Yeah.
They're depending on what day of the week, even you read something about global warming, you could read that we could essentially start to reverse it by some unsubstantiated year, be it 20, 30, 50, 75, you know, a nice even number that headlines can read easy.
2047.
Right, you know, and a lot of people say we could do it if we turned today.
Yeah.
And this is a generational project that if we had hard progress today, would not be a thing for decades from now even.
Yeah, if we turn today with no resistance, which is not going to happen.
No.
Like, I remember seeing a while ago, I think in school, we saw a documentary on who killed the electric car. It was talking about, like, the California, I think it was, wanted to make it mandatory that you had to have electric cars by a certain year, like 10 years down the road or something. And then it was just interesting of, like, the number of companies that were just fighting against that law.
Yeah.
Even though it's like, it's a good idea, but it's like the oil companies fight against it, the car companies fight against it. And it's just like all these things that went against what is probably, or is good for the environment and stuff, but it's not on the bottom line of what makes me money.
The mandatory line on that, I think, is what shot it in the foot. Like, if it wasn't, you have to have it within the next, we'll say 10 years, just as a solid number. So, like, but hypothetically, if they had to have it within that 10 years, that means that every car dealership that had non-electric cars were losing money on those cars.
Mm-hmm. I think it was further down the line, but like, but like, even if it was just California, then they could be like, oh, we'll move it to Arizona or some state that's close by, and yeah,
but that doesn't always work either, right?
Well, electric cars being one facet of it, which are obviously a very good idea. It's very low emission. Source of transportation. Even that, you take all the different attempts at electric car. I guess, what would you call that? Shoving into the mainstream, essentially.
Yeah.
Trying to, like, show people that this can be a thing.
Mm-hmm.
It never took a foothold. It took the internet's darling, Mr. Elon Musk there.
Oh, yeah. SpaceX himself.
SpaceX himself, yes. It took him until the last 5 years to really start making a foothold in electric vehicles. Mm-hmm. And that's still even struggling now.
Well, like, it doesn't help that the cheapest model's like 40,000 or something.
It's not cheap.
Yeah, you're not going to be able to get unless you can, like, I get in like more southern areas where it's not that cold, where you can sell people on some scooter type thing.
Yeah.
Vespa type. You can get those. Those probably won't be that expensive, but like in Canada, where you're not going to drive around on a scooter in winter.
No, and you're going to kill your batteries in the winter anyways.
Yeah, exactly. So it's a tough sell. Like, I've seen one Tesla in around here, and that was during the summertime, and it's neat to think about where they're doing some cool things, but like, what was before that? Chevy Volt, was that fully electric?
Yeah,
there's a couple, like, even
a hybrid, but
like
even
Priuses were somewhat, or they were decently prominent.
I think most hybrids, even now, most of it is just they use the motor, the gas motor, to accelerate and keep the electrical power to coast.
Yeah, Yeah, I think they just take energy from like the alternator and
Yeah.
use that more of that and keep it more efficient, but it's still a gas powered vehicle.
Yeah, like for acceleration, I believe is the use of gas to
Mhm.
get it going, and then it's just to sustain that speed is when it starts to take.
Okay, I'm not sure exactly what the things.
It's I don't know too much about it.
Yeah.
I'm going off of what I was told from mysterious third party we won't talk about.
Mysterious third party.
I don't even know who I'm referring to.
Yeah, it's like Elon Musk is doing some neat things, like their automation in the automatic vehicles. It's an interesting thing where, they're talking about how much it would cost to get automated vehicles throughout, but they're talking like 98% of all accidents are human error.
Yep.
And it's how much would all the insurance companies save if all those went away? And it's just like, oh, there's now 2% of the accidents that there were before. How much money is saved in that access? And it's again tough on the colder climates where it's like, oh, it's snowing. My car thinks there's a line there. It goes into a ditch.
Yeah,
and it's just like,
I follow that. I mean, again, this is all one facet of the talk of global warming.
Yeah,
Trying
obviously
to
that's
reverse it.
Yeah.
And even this is just a super complicated issue.
Yeah.
You know, I was gonna say about normalizing it in any regard. Like it's still a struggling, emerging business, and even the people that talk about it, they wank off Musk like nobody's business, right? You know, like you either love the guy or you just don't care about him.
Yeah.
You know, there's no middle ground for the man. But if you own a Tesla, you're like praising that fucking thing like, oh, how do you not own a Tesla? It's this fucking fantastic vehicle.
Yeah.
You know, everybody should have one. No, that's not the case. I don't have $40,000 to spend on a thing.
Yeah, if I had the money, that'd be sweet to own a Tesla. If I knew it could survive here and...
Well, even then, if you were to get a Tesla, being an emerging business and kind of technology, it's going to be outclassed in 6 months.
Yeah, like that's the thing, where in 3 years there's going to be such major innovations in that field that it's going to be drastically better, and then all of a sudden be like, oh, it's 10 times more efficient, and now it takes like a huge percentage or a small percentage of the amount of energy it takes in like electricity. They'd be like, oh, now mine's a piece of shit and it's garbage and I paid $40,000 for it.
Pretty much, it's not a feasible investment is the problem.
Yeah, it's at a point where it's the curve is going so quickly that it's gonna take redoing it every couple of years just to stay close to relevant to
you're competing an emerging technology to something simple like a gas motor.
Yeah.
Which in itself is pretty complex, obviously. There's whole fields of schooling about it.
Yeah.
The problem is we nail that technology. We know all about it.
Yeah.
You're competing that with huge monopolized businesses that have a foothold in this against something new. It'd be like running a new OS in competition with like say Windows or Mac.
Yeah, exactly.
You're not gonna fucking excel unless you've got some niche market that people are touting and are specifically developing for it. It's not gonna happen.
Yeah, that's a thing where it takes so much to get a decent foothold where so many companies don't want it to succeed. And it's not even like competitors, like it's not just Ford getting mad at it, it's everything.
It's everyone.
There's such a cascading effect of what is affected by that technology, so there's so many people that could lose once it goes off.
Yeah, I mean, and I own an electric vehicle, my little shitty Tao scooter.
Woohoo!
That thing that I tout the name Tao and they go, what the fuck? You know, what was that from? Like, I think Thailand. I don't know. It's made of Taiwanese plastic, I assume. And the thing beeps loudly when you're trying to go into a turning lane. I love the thing. The battery got me from, I would say, how far do you think it would be from this location to, say, the Kenniston area?
Where in Kenniston?
IKEA.
Yeah, IKEA. How far of a distance would you ballpark that?
Let's use the
gun to your head. Give me an answer now.
5 miles.
5 miles. So
I was gonna go with like I don't know.
Well, the vehicle got me there with some charge to go every day for a good while, and that's just a shitty little scooter that's only feasible for
6.6 miles.
6.6. Ooh, good guess.
To IKEA.
It got me there for
Turn
a
off my
while.
location.
It's just that like, oh yeah. So if anybody wants to know where we are, we're 6.6 miles from the IKEA on Kenniston in Winnipeg.
Yeah, so just draw a circle and we're somewhere on that line.
Yeah, try and
Yeah.
triangulate this position. I'll give you the distance to, let's say, West Kildonan in a couple of minutes, and we'll drop hints here or there for anyone
Yeah.
who's listening.
So then, if you get a second point, then you would have 2 dots, and then it would be 1 of the 2, and one's probably like in the middle of the Red River, and then it'd be like, no, it's not that one. It must be this one, and then they'll be able to knock on your house and.
Yeah. Try and take a guess. It takes me about 2 hours to bike down to here. Fucking Google Maps that. I want to give me a big circle about that.
Get real technical about it.
Yeah. I was gonna mention to you guys. I know you're not too much into it, but I know you are a little bit. What do you think of Destiny 2?
Cash grab.
You think so too, eh?
Yeah. Well, see, that's the thing is, like, I enjoyed Destiny to an extent. Like, I played it for a bit, got into it at the beginning, and then it got to the point where it was dull, and unless you're playing with friends, it really loses its factor for me. It's an MMO. It's meant to be played with people online. That's the thing, right? So for me, I lost a lot of value, because unless I was playing with my friends, it was really hard to just, like, be like, hey, I'm going to do this mission with random Joe Blow over here, and, like, I felt it was just... The interface for that was just a
So,
little
what do you think of Destiny 2? What have you seen of it, though?
What have I seen of
What
it?
have you seen of it?
I've seen that your brother has told me about it.
Yeah, I think him being told that Destiny 2 is being created means he hates it.
No, not true.
That's your default option on Destiny.
Actually, not true. I'm probably going to pick it up, to be honest.
But why do you hate it? Because it's being created.
No, I didn't say I hated it. I never once said I hated it. I just said I'm not a fan of Destiny, and my reasons behind it was the fact that I felt it was too straightforward into you had to play with friends. And for me, I just had troubles connecting with... Because I played with Steve and Neil and stuff like that, and they were so far ahead of me that it was hard to kind of match up with that afterwards and then try and play with them. It becomes... Once you become so far behind, it's really awkward. Like, me and Brendan are now playing Warframe together, and, like, he's helping me through a lot of it, and it sucks, and I know it's probably kind of slightly tedious and boring for him, but he gets to make fun of me for it, so he has some entertainment in it.
So, if I could equate this to something you're a fan of.
What's up?
Assassin's Creed.
Cash grab even more. No, cash grab even more. I don't care. I love Assassin's Creed, don't get me wrong. I love that series. But holy shit, kill it. Kill it with fire. It's done. It should have been done after the 3rd game. So help me God.
But just say you weren't hating on it like that. If you saw a 2-minute trailer for a game that was still in development, would you pre-order it?
No.
Did you know that people are pre-ordering this already?
I don't have a problem with that.
I have a huge problem with that.
It's not great, but the amount of, like, if Halo all of a sudden was like, do you want to pre-order the next one and not even show anything, there'd be people lining up the door. It's also Bungie, which doesn't help the...
Yeah,
Activision Bungie.
See, the
It's
thing
like
is,
a
though,
problem.
yeah, Max got a very good point there. It is a lot of the name on it. Because a lot of people like Destiny. A lot of people like Halo. So if someone announced it, like... People could do that with Assassin's Creed right now, too, and say, hey, here's the next one, you can pre-order it. And I bet you there will be a good chunk of people who do pre-order it. I would not be one of them at that point.
I think it is the stupidest fucking thing.
It is
honestly.
stupid. It is stupid, but, like,
it is.
you could do what Rockstar did with Red Dead 2. You could have just that much and then say, do you want to pre-order Red Dead 2?
That should not be a thing.
But...
At all.
Yeah, it should...
At all.
But people would line up... I think it's just a version of Kickstarter kind of thing.
Period.
Yeah. I think that's just...
Period, Mac.
I'm sorry.
It should not be a thing.
I'm sorry, sir. It's just a thing where they're trying to make it a Kickstarter
Mac,
kind of thing.
I said period.
We were discussing this. I can't remember what I said I was going to be talking about with it either. Oh, we were discussing this.
My point, I don't mean to cut you off.
No, it's fine.
I have to make this point.
Go for it.
Anybody who pre-orders Destiny 2 is subhuman trash in my eye, okay? If you have spent money on this, unsubscribe right now. Go subscribe to ISIS. I will meet you there in 2 weeks from now. We'll coordinate our attack on Activision HQ. Allahu Akbar.
Disclaimer.
Doesn't help I'm holding my arm up in like a Hitler salute off to the west of me.
Yeah, that's not how
Are you facing
Okay,
directly
yes.
towards Mecca or?
To be
Right, left, right.
I don't. It's east of us.
So my point being,
disclaimer paragraph, disclaimer paragraph, disclaimer paragraph.
we didn't. Repeat that 5 more times, and I think we're up to quota. So
We have still a while to get to that quota.
my point that I bring this up for is that they put out I think it's about a 2-minute teaser for a game that isn't even in beta yet, which means it's still in alpha, which means it's still in the egg of game development, and people are pre-ordering this now.
So what you're telling me is people are literally losing their shit over this already?
No, nobody's losing their shit. Everybody's generally disgruntled about it. I mean, obviously you read internet forums and people are saying, be smart about your buying, right? It goes without saying, consumer beware or something like that?
Yeah.
What how does that saying go?
Something like that. It's
So-
considered-
Buyer beware, that's
There
what
you
it
go,
was,
that's
yeah.
Yeah, the BB.
Yeah, BB.
The BB.
BB wants some
Yeah.
video game.
Maybe.
My point being is that I don't know how this became a thing, and looking back on it, I think the earliest I can remember is back in the early Xbox days, about Halo 2, if I recall, is when pre-orders started being a thing. And that was understandable back then because there were hard physical copies of the thing you had to reserve for yourself. Fast forward about a decade, and the business is making people pay for products that are still on the drawing board.
Yeah. This has become more of a crowdfunding type thing, and the problem with that is Bungie has enough capital that they don't need.
They don't need crowdfunding!
Like, if it's some smaller game, like, I forget, there's a game a decent, like, reboot of a game that's coming out that they kickstarted. It was, I don't know,
A ukulele?
yeah, maybe that was too, that wasn't the one I was thinking of, but that's Banjo-Kazooie's thing, right?
That's a spiritual successor to Banjo-Kazooie, essentially.
Yeah.
Same team that made that old Rareware.
Was that a crowdfunded type thing?
Yeah.
Okay.
That
Yeah,
was
like,
it.
for stuff like that, and I think the Mega Man, same thing, the Mighty Number 9.
Yeah, that $4 million project.
Yeah, I think that was the same thing. I get it to something like where Banjo-Kazooie's hasn't made a game since like 2005 or something like that.
Yeah, because the people cycled out. It wasn't the same Rare company that was, that made that.
Yeah, what wasn't the last one, like Nuts and Bolts or some stupid nonsense?
Yeah.
That was okay for what it was. It wasn't a Banjo-Kazooie game, though.
Yeah.
No,
I enjoyed it.
Well, like him and I got the Rare replay, and we played Banjo-Kazooie, beat it, got like all the, what are those called? Jinjos.
Jinjos.
We got all the Jinjos.
Jiggies.
And the Jiggies. We got all the Jiggies.
Got jiggy with it.
Yeah, we got. Oh, that's actually the name of the achievement when you get it too. It's called Get Jiggy with it.
Yeah.
It's pretty awesome.
And Will Smith comes in.
Yeah. Anyways, and then we went through Banjo 2. Are we stuck on Banjo 2?
I think we just gave up. 'Cause
Yeah,
it
we
was
like took a
pretty
break. We played the first one, and then like the second one right after type thing. So we kind of got sick of it.
Yeah, it's this. Have you played both of them?
No.
Yeah, like the second one, it's more. You have to beat it as much as you can, and then like
Backtrack.
2 levels later, you'll get an ability that you need to get another thing back in the first one. So it's a lot more like, how much can I really get at this point? Where
Are you talking about Banjo-Tooie or
Banjo-Tooie.
Okay.
Yeah, where Banjo-Kazooie is like, you could beat every level 100% when you go into it the first time.
Okay.
Where Banjo-Tooie is like, oh, if you get this level get this ability from the 5th level and go back to the first level, then you can get this one thing that you couldn't get at the beginning. And so you kind of like have to beat the first level like 75% and then move on to the second, because you can't get 100% until you get 6 levels in.
In your opinion, is that a negative or a positive?
I'm not a big fan. I like to know, or if it told, I don't know, I'm not a fan. I like to complete it. I'll go through a level once and be done with it.
I think it depends on the style of game. Like for Banjo and Kazooie, Banjo-Tooie, that I see the point in the nuisance is because it actually keeps a tracker and all that stuff, and you have that 100% thing. But Dark Souls 3 and Dark Souls 2 do the same thing too.
Yeah, everybody knows the games in the same genre. The Metroidvania Banjo-Tooie.
Nonetheless, My point is in Dark Souls, you go you go to a certain point, and then you have to backtrack to a certain area, but you don't have that. Oh man, I have to make sure I collect all these to get past this area. No, you're just beating a boss and moving forward. Where in that you're collecting X amount of things and beating a boss. Just beating the boss or beating the area isn't enough. You need that extra stuff. So like searching and exploring, all that stuff is needed. So if you have to come back and do that, that's annoying. When you should be doing that the first time through, right? So it depends on the style of doing it. I think where the fact.
Yeah, I think like for like Dark Souls and more open level games where where it's all in one big world where you pass by it and you're like, oh, I can't go there yet. I'll have to do something else and come back. That's completely different than level 1 through 10. I have to be level 1 50%, and then once I get to level 5, I have to go back to level 1. And it's also a thing where they don't tell you how much you can get at the beginning. And you have to get a certain amount at each level to be able to keep going. So you don't want to be going back to each level 3 times just to go back and forth, get one thing, and then go back, forget exactly or how that level goes, and then have to remember what you needed to do from this level.
Yeah.
It's similar like in the idea of Zelda, like Ocarina of Time. Like there's some spots where you needed like the hook shot, but you didn't get the hook shot till later. You'd have to come back to a certain spot.
So some people that's a draw though.
No, like yeah, but like with Zelda, it was easy to pull that off because it was an open world feel, right?
Yeah.
So you're running around the world. You're going to be going to different places. You're probably going to repeat the same section you were just at like 2 days ago, hypothetically. Because of the simple fact of there's an item that you know you can get there, or you could buy at a shop there, just because you know. Like, that's where the difference in it all is, in my opinion, at least.
To some people, that's a draw, though. Yeah, it's
well, no, like, in the Zelda and the Dark Souls way, yes, I agree 110%. Like, there is a draw to, like, yeah, I can come back here later, I do enjoy that fact. But with Max Point, when it comes to Banjo-Kazooie style, yeah, I hate that, because I like going through the level and getting it 100% first time through if I can.
Yeah.
Or at least restarting the mission, because, like, Tony Hawk had the same thing where you had, like, 2-minute time thing to try and complete all the objectives.
Yeah. Like Banjo-Kazooie I see in, like, the same vein as, like, Mario kind of thing, where it's, like...
Oh, yeah. Okay, I follow that then.
Where it's, like, 1-1, you shouldn't have to go to 6-1, then go back to 1-1 and beat that level then. Or, like, get something in that level.
Yeah, okay, I can see where you're coming from then.
Yeah, I see them as... I like to see them as, like in Banjo-Kazooie, there are 10 different levels, and they're independent of each... Like, you have to progress through them, and like you need the abilities from 1 to get to or finish 2 and so on and so on. But I see them as 1-1, and once that's done, you move on to or from the first level you move on to the second level and so on until you get to the final level kind of thing.
Okay, yeah.
Basically, it should be a succession order, not so much.
So I'm guessing that ukulele is more like a spiritual successor to Banjo-Tooie than Kazooie.
I'm not sure exactly.
I've heard a lot of complaints about the game that exactly what you're describing about having to come back to levels with an increased repertoire of maneuvers and like I guess abilities to transverse.
I think Banjo-Tooie is also like a much longer game to play. Yeah. Like you might be able to beat it in similar times, but like 100% you would take 3-4 times as long as Banjo-Kazooie, and then it's like it's a game where you can play it for 5, maybe 10 hours, but
you still got more to go.
Yeah. But it like if you're doing Banjo-Kazooie, then you're getting very close to the end. If not, you beat it. But in Banjo-Tooie, it's like, oh, you're half done, and it's just like this is way too long of a game for what this game is.
Okay, so to get back to what I was talking about earlier. Sorry about the weird kind of branch of conversation there. So say you were pitched on a banjo 3E, right?
3E?
Yeah, but you saw a teaser, and they're still designing it.
Mm-hmm.
You like the game Banjo-Kazooie. Would you spend money on Banjo 3E before it was even out?
That's not a good example for me because I wouldn't like ukulele. I'm not gonna play like. It's not a franchise where I'm that connected where it's like I want to play it that badly.
Yeah.
Like for people who play Destiny where it's pretty much it has that name, therefore I'm going to play it. There's no maybe Splinter Cell would be the closest thing to that.
I was
For me-
gonna go. How about NFL Street 4? Except for it's exactly like combine the
On-
best of them.
No, if it was NFL Street 4, I would need to see, like, it close to being done and know what it is before I would buy it. But, like,
That's a good way of going about it, though.
yeah.
You know, and not a lot of people, not enough people.
Like, there's no
Do
game
that.
where I'm not that much into gaming where I need to play a game right when it comes out. Like, I haven't played a new game. I can't remember the last time I've played a game that's been out less than a year.
No, well, unless you're playing with me, because I'll only get the wrestling game right away.
Like, my most recent console is an Xbox 360.
Yeah.
Oh, that's fair enough, though.
Yeah.
Yeah, like I think his newest game was Blacklist.
No, I have Borderlands, the
Oh.
pre-sequel,
Right.
and that I played, like, this year, at the beginning of the year. So...
My issue with it, though, in particular, is that it's propagation of this trend of marketing that is the most anti-consumer thing that you could possibly do. And they're getting away with it, is what bugs me.
Yeah.
And nothing that anybody says or does seems to be having an effect on it. You can not buy it. They're just going to try harder in that same vein of marketing.
Mm-hmm.
I.e. the way Square Enix marketed... Human Revolution, I believe it is. Which one was the new one? Mankind Divided or Human Revolution?
For what?
Deus Ex. Do you remember?
I don't remember what it's called.
I think it's Human Revolution.
Yeah, I think that was the newest one. Yeah, I'm pretty certain that's the newest one.
I always get these two mixed up. I probably got them mixed up again. But Square Enix did this thing. It was unanimously kind of laughed out of practice. It was a pre-order business model of what they called augmenting your pre-order, which was a program they ran about picking and choosing what you want in your pre-order for your game.
Mm-hmm.
It was this big program they had developed about you can get this or you can get that with your early copy of the game. And it all boiled down to them trying to incentivize people spending money on a product that was still in development.
Mm-hmm.
And that, it was laughed out of practice because it was so blatantly anti-consumer that, you know, who's going to buy that? You are a moron if you buy that.
Yeah.
And I don't believe they followed through on it. I think they refunded some people when it was actually canceled. But they're still doing it. This is years ago.
Yeah, I don't know. It's nobody who's on the fence about Destiny is buying it now. Where, in my opinion, where it's Destiny 2 is going to get made, no matter how many people pre-order it now. Like, it's not going to be a thing where some Kickstarters where people spend their money and they're like, oh, actually, we didn't get through, and then you don't get what you paid for, kind of thing.
Yeah.
Like, Destiny 2 is going to get made. It's not some company that Bungie's not going to go bankrupt tomorrow, and all of a sudden be like, oh shit, you guys paid money for nothing, and the people who pre-ordered it now are getting they were going to get Destiny no matter what it looks like. Like, unless it's... I'm not a fan of it, especially on a company that big and to that scale, but I'm not super opposed to it because it's like the people who are spending their money on it were going to spend their money anyway. Like, I get that it's not the... Obviously, the people who could be disappointed and be like, oh shit, I shouldn't have spent it. I don't think there's that many of those. I think those people would buy the game anyway, and just to see how shitty it is. Like, I don't know.
Well, I don't know if they're running any exclusives so I mean, I'm unsure of that. I don't think they've announced anything regarding it.
For what?
Exclusives for pre-ordering the game itself.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. That's where that really gets my goat, is when there's an exclusive piece of material locked away to giving a company your money before it's made. Mm-hmm. And I think that's another bad thing that needs to go. My biggest gripe is you take this practice and you apply it to another field. And you realize how stupid it is. Say you were to take that to a developer like a car company. They come out with a commercial, like a CG rendering of a car that they plan to make. And they have, this is for not next year's model, but maybe a year or 2 years to 3 years later.
Mm-hmm.
You're ordering the Nissan, whatever the fuck model,
Jerk-a-McGurk.
model 2019,
Mm-hmm.
and they're advertising it right now.
Do you know who did that?
Who did that?
Tesla.
Well,
You can buy a Tesla, and they don't have a release date. I forget which model it is, but their newest one, you can pre-order it now.
Well, I don't endorse that, and I think.
No, I know. I'm saying it does. It does happen.
That's actually kind of funny. Imagine this. No, that's happening.
Oh.
Well, hell.
I think the thing with Kickstarter and Indiegogo and some of those other platforms.
Was this advertised on those though?
I'm not sure. Like, you don't see a Tesla commercial. It's. I think it's for people who have Tesla or have shown interest in Tesla.
It's always word of mouth.
Yeah, I think it's more of that. Where I think if you own a Tesla, then you get in like their email blast or whatever the hell it is. But yeah, I know with the propagation of crowdfunding for everything, it's just becoming part of business these days. Where there's very few business or industries where that's not a thing. It's just most of them are for smaller indie companies that are trying to get up to that level who don't have the capital to develop a great game or a great product. So they need some money to get the product to the consumers. And then that's the part where if there's some where, oh, we'll make this product if you give us money, and then people give them money and they'll be like, oh, we weren't able to make the product. And then you just paid money for nothing, and then I think they give it back or something. So,
Yeah. You know, I kind of agree because they're very similar fields, with the minor difference being the funding being available to the company to finish the product regardless of crowdfunding. And the difference, in my opinion, has to do solely with whether or not they were going to be able to finish the project, relying on additional income. And if it's possible that they were going to do it, they shouldn't have asked.
Yeah.
You know? Because that exemplifies greed in my books. And as much as that's priority number one in a business, to make money, right? That's like top of the checklist.
Yeah.
Did I make money today? Yeah, I did good. But
to be fair, that's life in general, though. Like, your goal, like, the goal in life is to make money. And that's kind of...
I disagree.
Yeah. What do you want?
You can't live without money.
But my goal is not to make money. Money is a means to an end.
Yeah, but hypothetically,
You're out of your
no
league
matter
here,
what,
Adrian.
you need money. The world needs money.
I'm gonna go fly to an island, jump off, and then just make my own coconut farm without any money and say, screw you.
And you'll die.
No, I'll win.
He'll live off coconuts.
Yeah, no, he has no survival skills.
I've seen Survivor.
Have you ever tasted coconuts, man? I could live off that for the rest of my life.
Yeah.
Okay, that's fair, but
During
nonetheless.
monsoon season, they'll be washed up, and then it'll be great.
It's not a business thing of being greedy. People as a society is greedy.
Yeah, but that's two different
Everyone's
points.
greedy in their own way, and that's just it. It all boils down to money.
I disagree. I'm an angel.
I disagree with your point, but
Well,
I also
shit.
disagree with the use.
That I'm an angel? What?
No, not with that. You're an angel. I disagree with the point. Like, calling corporations greedy is a weird sentence to go, because the whole point of every CEO is to be as profitable as possible.
Yeah.
Where you're being greedy for doing what your sole purpose is doing. It's a slippery slope of like, but there's.
I think there's a very solid difference, honestly,
Of what?
between making money as a goal of a business and making money as a means to an end to put a product out.
Yeah.
And that's the defining factor for me between a business, accepting something like a pre-order as opposed to a smaller studio that needs the income to finish a product that people should enjoy.
But it also, say Bungie wants to start this other project, some new project that no one's going to pre-order because it's a whatever, and then they need to spend their money on that, and then have the people who are pre-ordering Destiny, that money go to Destiny. It could be something like that where they need the money for something else, and that'll give them more money down the road. It is. I do see the point of it saying dumb. I just don't like the use of calling corporations greedy.
No, it is greedy.
It is,
It's bad and it's stupid.
and I hate it.
And it's stupid and it's bad.
But let's go back to money being the purpose of life.
It is.
No, it's not.
How are you gonna get a plane and jump off onto an island? You gotta pay for that shit,
No.
don't you? You gotta pay for a roof over your head. You gotta pay to eat. You gotta pay for fucking everything. Money is the root of life.
Why do you eat?
To live.
No, you eat because you like it.
Yeah.
It shows.
Yeah, just because I'm fat doesn't mean shit.
Yeah. If we were in a civilization where we just bartered on, like, I'll grow my wheat and then trade you that for your cow's milk, and then we just...
Then I wouldn't have my point of view that I have right now.
But
if it was a bartering system, I wouldn't be saying money is the means to life, because it is.
it is means to an end. The end is, like, happiness and whatever you want out of life. If you just had money,
No,
the
it's
whole
the
point...
means to live.
Yeah.
You
but-
can't, like, you literally, you can't even be homeless without fucking the government coming up your ass about it.
That's a different point.
No, that's the thing. Homeless people don't have money and stuff like that for the most part, like, other than...
So you're saying they're not living?
No, it's not that. No, they're not. They actually aren't living. That's not a life to live.
Zombies.
No, it's how is living on the streets a life to live? I've been in multiple spectrums. I've slept in a car. I've slept on the streets. I've done all this shit before. Money is the means to life. That's it. Because a good majority of the homeless people either end up injured, in hospitals, or dead because of that
I
shit.
just want one thing to say.
Go for it.
So if you were to just stockpile your biggest amount of money and just Scrooge McDucked this thing and just had a big pit and dove into it and didn't spend a cent of it, just had the most money you could, would you be living a life? Just your goal was to stockpile as much money as you could.
That's not the point I'm getting at. But you need the money in order to acquire the necessities to live. Yes. So without money, you can't get what you need to survive. So you need the money to live, is my point.
More money, more bitches.
Basically.
Yeah, I don't know. Money is more of an obstacle to get to what you want. It's not what you don't want.
No.
In the
Working is the obstacle to getting what you want. Because what everyone wants is money. Because what everyone wants is stuff.
Yeah. What you want is the stuff. What you want is... If you
the obstacle is working to earn the money to get the shit.
If you worked a job and they said, we would just buy you things and not give you a cent and just buy you everything you wanted, would you take that job?
No.
And said... You could ask for whatever you want and they would give it to you.
And
without getting a cent of money. Zero money to your name. They just gave you everything you wanted. There you go.
They are the money factor then. Because they're giving it. How are they getting it? They gotta pay for it.
You earned your money.
Huh?
You earned your money. You worked hard.
It's the same. It's the same concept.
Money is just a tool to get to what you want.
No, it's still at the end of the day greed because you're still wanting stuff, which is procured by money.
I gotta say, I appreciate your counterpoints. You kind of threw a stick in my cog.
Yeah.
And you've also stumped the Stumpy Dumpy here. You're bringing a new aspect to this conversation that I didn't anticipate.
That's good.
I expected to go on like a 20-minute tirade about anti-corporate. And you're like, no, but that's a good thing. I don't know where to go from there. I'm not used to counterpoints this strong.
Would you? How would you see? What's your view on money?
Personally, I think it's just a means to, I guess, for sustenance, essentially. Yeah. Not be it food, be it potable water, means of distraction, things like that. Potable water. Ha! Because it sounds like potty, right?
No. Potables from Celebrity Jeopardy. Because that was in every single episode. They had list off categories.
Potables.
Yeah, potables. So as soon as you said that, it was
movies that start with the word Jaws.
That's such a good series.
Countries that sound like this. Asia.
Oh yeah, Audio Daily Double.
What continent is this?
Asia.
Or the colors that end in purple. Anyway, go back to your point.
Personally, I'm not too about it. But I have different perspectives on this. More or less because personally, I'm not too attached to the stuff.
Mhm.
I don't come across it too much. I only need it when I need it, right?
Mhm.
Too much of it, and you spend it on stupid things.
Yeah.
I figure, personally, I think it's just a means that you should only have it when you need it, and use it on things that keep you, I guess, tickled pink with pleasure in life.
Yeah.
You know, as long as you're happy. If you're making as much money as you can, and
to keep you going, right? To keep you living, right?
Yeah, but my point is, if you were on a deserted island and all you had was a bucket of money, what good does that do you?
you should talk to my fucking uncle. My uncle, Eddie there, Mr. Edskin. So this is kind of a weird thing to talk about. Eddie there, my uncle, my family member, lovely Eddie. He's been homeless essentially almost all of his adult life. I have not talked to that man as an upset person.
Yeah.
We used to play games with my father saying, let's find Uncle Eddie on Main Street. And he was a happy man. He's always been happy. Not a lot of money to that man.
Yep.
He just does enough to get by. You know? And be that to warrant life, as Adrian puts it. You know, as long as he's happy with himself, you know, I don't think he's too worried about that. You know, and that's kind of my opinion on the matter as well.
Yeah, exactly. Like there's.
But as you're saying, he makes enough money
No,
to
he doesn't.
get by.
No, he doesn't.
You said he makes the means to get by.
Yeah, be that talking with friends and family, or finding a place that will grant him asylum for a little bit of time.
Or there's the people who have all the money in the world and are super depressed because whatever reason, because money won't give them what they want.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I wasn't saying that the system is perfect. That's just it. You can have a lot of money.
Are you a socialist?
What are you talking about?
I'm a communist.
No.
Call me
No,
all
the
way.
thing is, though, is you can have all the money, but you're still living. You could be depressed. You are still living. You have the means to live, is my point. You need money to live. Yes, your point of being on a desert island with a bucket of money, yeah, it won't do you any good. Sure, drop you in the middle of fucking bumfuck nowhere with no money at all. You're not really going to get very far now, are you?
Are you under the assumption that homeless people are homeless because they're poor?
No, not completely.
So
No, they're not all homeless because of that. Some of them actually just have had, like, shitty situations that come up, and they end up in that position. Yes, I know.
you know, 90% of homeless people are in that position because they have mental illness, not because they're poor.
Yes, I realize.
Yeah.
But it's not just mental illnesses. It's other things that happen. You could lose a job and then get evicted, and then you're stuck on the streets, and then you're screwed to the point where you don't have a place to live. You can't find a job after that because it's kind of hard to find a job without a place to live. So it becomes a whole new routine of problems, which is exactly why I'm saying you need money to live, because you need a house to get a job. In order to get money, you need a job, right? And in order to get food, in order to get proper drinking water that will not be potentially contaminated, especially in our city, you go drink out of the red and see how far you get. My point being is, you have to have you have to have money to succeed in life, to progress in life. Your best bet is with money. Yes, you are able to get by. There are people who can live off the means of the land. Yes, that is possible. The likelihood of it is very slim. If money was taken out of the system, hypothetically today, they said, fuck it, no more money all around the world, it would go into an immediate riot. And World War would fucking start immediately. Because money is what controls the world. It is. That's just how life is.
It would go into chaos until there was a different paradigm that came up. And then
but how much of the world would be gone before that? How many people would die? How much of life would be destroyed before a new system came into place that was basically like money, but was called something else? We'll call it fucking Joe Blow money.
If all of a sudden they got rid of all the electricity in the world,
same thing
would happen. Doesn't mean that.
Yeah, but you would still be able to find a mean. Yeah, okay, electricity has become a very big part of it, but fire still keeps us warm. Fire still gives us light. There are still other means to, we'll lose TV, we'll lose internet, we'll lose a lot of things that society depends upon if we lost electricity, but there's still other means. There's other means to entertain yourselves by going outside, playing with friends. You can play fucking a deck of cards for fuck's sake.
Play jacks.
There you go, jacks. You can play hopscotch, you can play tag. Hell, you can go fucking kick the can.
Freeze tag?
Freeze tag, exactly. Like, you're giving something that, yes, society does use as a dependent, but nothing is near as much of a dependent in life as money is.
We're making different arguments, you know that?
Yeah.
Yeah, probably.
I don't know where this is coming from, but you're gonna...
I'm saying the purpose of life is not money, and do you say the money is the purpose of life?
Oh, no, that's not the purpose of life.
Okay, that's what we were arguing, and then
no. I'm not saying
that.
it's the purpose of life. No. I'm just saying, like, you need money to kind of live.
If I start yelling, then they'll start agreeing with me.
Yeah. Well, I mean...
No, I just get heated, so my voice
I've been calling this guy the stupid, loud, dumb, big, 6-foot, stupid, Dumbo Frenchman for years for a reason.
Yeah. It wasn't because of one moment, it's because of a bunch of different moments.
It's an amalgamation of this.
This is what I have to deal with.
I was going to say, to wrap up, I was going to give you a question. You can have all the money in the world, or you have to sit through an alpha version of an Assassin's Creed game, and you have to finish it.
Can it be finished?
No. Face bugs and everything.
Shit, that's not an issue to me.
And they make you play the female character, but they tell you it's a male skeleton because of development issues.
Whatever. Because that makes no difference.
Make your choice, peasant!
But what's my choices? I get all
that
the money
or nothing.
I get all the money in the world, and I have to play this alpha?
Or you get nothing.
Or I get nothing.
And they shoot your grandchild.
I don't have a grandchild, so okay. But I'm sure I'd play.
When you have one, multiple grandchildren, one day they will shoot one.
And they'll pick your favorite one too.
I'm not specifying who.
Yeah, they will.
Nonetheless, if I was given money just to play the fucking alpha, I'd just do it just cause.
But it's
money.
painful.
It's free money, yeah. It'd be
And
rough,
your crotch snakes bite you every time you have to play it.
Stop bringing up the cross things.
It's Brendan. He has to bring up a dick reference at the time. I'm just happy it's not a celebrity dick reference at the time.
Well, I was gonna say, if we're closing off,
Oh no, we still got some time. Like we were thinking we'd go roughly as long as last time.
oh, I think it's coming to a close.
It's pretty close. Yeah, I think we're good to...
Yeah. We gotta edit it.
What's your ending there, Brandon?
My ending is that Adrian chose the dick snakes over the fingers because he's a moron. I would make a career out of finger people. I'd run my own circus and I have 10 coworkers with me.
But how the hell would you exactly do that? Like, they can't jump through hoops and do, like, tricks or something. Like, what, you just got, like, 10 clowns?
Yeah,
Pile them all into a car?
Exactly.
You'd be in a tent, and they'd come see the amazing finger man or whatever.
I'd be the best shadow puppet man on the planet. We would have we would do our own interpretation of, like, Game of Thrones or Lord of the Rings, all in shadow puppets. Yeah, we figure it out.
You could probably make some pretty good stuff. This is the Red Wedding right here.
Oh no, the White Walkers are coming. And it's like there's nothing. Because like you can't do White Walkers in shadow.
That's pretty good.
So that took a bit of a weird turn towards the end of it.
Oh,
but
yeah.
that was
The Clone Fools. Oh, sure.
thanks all those 5 people who listened.
Yeah.
Actually, we're in double digits so far. So.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, we're in double digits. We're doing
I
pretty
bet
good.
we lowered that number this time.
Oh, this time possibly. No, I think we'll hit close to the same. I don't think we'll get more.
Yeah.
But
Well,
we'll see.
as long as you people don't tell me to go fuck myself, I'll be okay with you. We could be
But I'm
friends.
probably editing out this little rant at the end here anyway.
Yeah.
Well, that's gonna be a big missing. It's gonna go from like, I think you're wrong, Mac, to all right. That's the that's the end of the pod.
And we're off.
No, not that rant. I'm talking this little bit.
Oh, this? No, don't cut this.
This is the gem. This is our character.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
Oh,
it's a little peek into
Who we are.
who we are.
I
So
guess.
whoever is listening, just to be sure, I really do hate Adrian. Don't let him fool you.
No.
Don't let him fool you with those descriptions in the paragraph. I don't have access to that. I'll fucking hack our Twitter and you'll know.
I don't even have access to the Twitter.
No, I don't
Is
know.
there even a Twitter?
Yeah, there's a Twitter.
Only I have access to it. I have access to
Twitter at Tomfoolery Pod.
I'm of suspicion that this is all a ruse to get a soundboard to use against us in court, Mac.
Yeah.
I think he's like running this on his phone so he can,
Yeah.
put together a large, elaborate soundboard to
Yeah, and
convict
then all
us
of
of
a sudden
crimes.
he's going to talk about how money is worth everything and
And
be
be
like,
like, listen,
"You don't-
they agree with me.
he doesn't like money. We should take all his money. Did you hear that?
Yeah, he says he doesn't need to give it to me. Oh, hey, you say you don't need it. I'm in debt. You want to help fuck me? Get me
I don't
that?
need it, but it facilitates what I do.
Right, so again, with whoever fucking listened to this, thank you for listening. We promise we won't be so dire if I'm ever back.
Oh, well, you'll be back. Well, next week we'll be back with one, and then the week after that we will have, hopefully, the Guardians of the Galaxy review on it.
Are you telling them or me?
Both of us.
I thought next week was Guardians.
No, next week Guardians comes out, but we'll be recording at the same time next week. And it releases on the Friday, and we record on Tuesdays.
We should have a special section dedicated to rating pornos I watched on the weekend.
You know what? Here, if we get at least one tweet about someone saying that you can review your porn that you watched on the weekend, I will allow it. We need one tweet that's not you or Mac.
I'll send you guys
Or
some
Steve.
links if you like. I got a whole fucking catalog.
See, like, I find it funny to review, to watch, what is it, parody porn and make fun of that shit. That shit's funny and hilarious.
I can't say I've ever seen a parody porn.
Oh, it's really funny.
I'm very vanilla, I'm sorry.
Yes, you are.
How about you, Mac?
I'm pretty
What kind of porn are you into?
And that's it!